Hi, guys. Welcome back to another installment of Therapy Thursday, where I make a video and I'm in the video instead of just my hands. Um, I thought that I would challenge myself. It's kind of like double therapy. I'm making a video in front of the camera, which a lot of times makes me uncomfortable. But I'm also going to talk about my childhood and disclaimer religion. So that's also kind of awkward. So if you don't want to hear about, like, I'm not going to be bad mouthing religion or spirituality. I do consider myself a spiritual person. So I'm not going to badmouth religion, God, Jesus. I'm not, that's not what this is about, but I am going to be talking. I kind of mentioned this before, and I don't think I've talked about this in detail in a video, but I'm going to be talking about my childhood between the ages of like 7 and 14. And like I said, I mentioned this before because it kind of all ties into why I love the holidays and like celebrating so much. So I have no notes. There's no paper in front of me. I'm just gonna wing it. So if you guys want to hear a story, I'm going to tell you one. Okay, so let's start from when I was about 7, 8 years old, about second grade. For those who don't know, that's about 30 years ago for me. I was growing up with my mom. She was a single parent. There was no dad in the picture. I had an older brother, or have an older brother that's almost a year and a half older than me. So at this time, he's probably about 9. And then my little brother, who's no longer with us, he passed away in 2014. But my little brother at this time was a baby because he's almost 6 years younger than me. So he was a baby at this time, and the story really doesn't involve him because he was too little. But this religion that I'm about to talk about, I didn't even realize until like the past couple years, when other people like on media outlets and social media and stuff like that have said this religion is cult like. I will say now it's not Scientology, but it's kind of been like recently like piggybacked on top of Scientology. So like I said, I'm not going to say the religion, but um you can probably pause this video and go do a quick Google search to see what religion is cult-ish. It has been mentioned right along with Scientology, and it's not Scientology, it's a different one, a very well-known one that gets that gets made fun of a lot. I'll stop there. So basically, I grew up poor, for lack of a better word. My mom was on her own, no child support, no alimony, no dad in the picture. My little brother had a different dad than me, my older brother, and he wasn't in the picture either. We were really on our own. And my mom was never, I didn't grow up like hardcore religious. Sorry, I just saw someone out my window. They're gonna knock my door. Anyways, I digress. I didn't grow up like hardcore religious in the beginning of my life. My mom, she liked to study different kinds of religion, I think like prior to ever having children and stuff. But prior to this, there wasn't like religion in our household. This was the beginning of religion in our household. We had never even gone to church prior to this when I was a kid. So, to make a long story short, these this religion, representatives from this religion, will just say they found my mom and within a few minutes of speaking to her, or at least that's what it seemed like to me as a kid. Of course, my mom's interpretation would probably be different of events, but it seemed like it was real fast, like overnight. These people talked to my mom, and now we were this religion. And with that came stuff like having to buy all of this religion's books and like paraphernalia, if you will, like all of their, it had to be like their Bible, their religious magazines, their books. You have to buy this book and do this book first, and have Bible study every week at your house with representatives of this religion. Like two people would come over to your house. Like two, what happened for us was like two adults would come over to for my mom, and they would do Bible study like on, I remember it was Wednesdays. It was every Wednesday. They would do Bible study downstairs on Wednesdays, with my mom, and it would be two adult, at least one, sometimes two, sometimes even three representatives of this religion, like an elderly person from the religion that's like been in the religion longer, and then one or two adult representatives would come and do Bible studies, and it couldn't just be like any old Bible. It was their Bibles, their journals, their magazines, their books that you had to buy. Like they'll give stuff out for free, but then after that you have to buy it. So that's kind of already weird to me. Like, anyways, it's just, I don't want to offend anybody with my personal opinion, but I think having to buy a whole bunch of crap to like praise whatever God it is that you believe in, like to study stuff in a certain order, or like you don't have a chance of getting baptized by this religion, is crazy. But my mom would Bible study downstairs with the adults, and then there'd be two teenagers, a boy and a girl, they're about 16, 17 years old, that were also in this religion, and they would be upstairs in my mom's townhouse apartment and teaching us, me and my older brother. We were like 7, 8 at the time, maybe 8, 9. And we would be learning from one book that this religion made up with their version of the Bible to go with this book. And then my mom would be downstairs studying with a different religious text. And they, I don't know. We had to do this. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I have to pause for 1 second. Sorry, guys. I had to pause and then come back because I was getting a message from my husband, and he's out of state right now. So if he is trying to call me or message me, I have to answer because it's my husband and he's not home. So, anyways, so yeah, this Bible study went on every single week. We like had to do it. We had to Bible study with these people. We had to like let them in our home. Every Sunday we had to go to church, but it wasn't called church. It was called, again, if I say what it is, it's going to give away the religion, and I don't want anyone to be mad at me for talking about this religion or like come at me. I don't know. I'm scared. I watch too much TV. But, so yeah, no matter how much I was sick of it as I got older, no matter how much I didn't understand it, as I got older, I was forced to do it. When we went to their version of church every Sunday, like you had to dress a certain way, you had to, sit a certain way. There's lots of like judgment, like even though it's supposed to be like a church like atmosphere, people were judging each other very harsh and very critically, whispering about each other. It was like petty garbage. That's one of the reasons my mom eventually left. It's just like the backstabbing chatter was like just too much. But you couldn't wear pants to church. If you were a girl, it had to be dresses and skirts a certain length. You had to, to be modest. Men weren't allowed to wear jeans inside the church. They really wanted to encourage you to hang out with just people who were this particular religion, which we didn't follow that specific rule. But the one rule, to come back to like the point of this video for me, the one rule that my mom was hard and fast, steadfast, and like really dug her teeth in and practiced was, this is probably going to be another giveaway of this religion, not celebrating the holidays. I mean, no holidays were celebrated whatsoever from the time I was 7 years old, which was like second grade, until I was 14, which is like my freshman year of high school, ninth grade. From second grade to ninth grade, I celebrated no holidays. None. I couldn't even celebrate. Hold on one second again, guys. I have to cough. This this video is gonna be like rough cut, crappy editing. Anyways, but yeah, we couldn't even celebrate Mother's Day. Like the day that you're supposed to say like, thanks mom, thanks for being such a good mom to us, thanks for, being such a good loving parent, or if you had a dad, I didn't have a dad growing up, but thanks dad for Father's Day. No. No, you weren't allowed to celebrate your birthday. So it wasn't just like Valentine's Day and Easter or whatever you're not allowed to celebrate. It was holidays like that too. Holidays that I would consider to be kind of like interpersonal, like in your family, with your family and friends. Couldn't even celebrate that. Couldn't say thank you to your mom and give her a card for Mother's Day. And then imagine this, you guys, from the ages of seven to 14, no one said happy birthday to me. Like your birthday is supposed to be like the celebration of like you being alive and the celebration of a whole new year, and it's an opportunity for people to be like, I'm so proud of how far you've come, or eat some freaking cake, or you know it's an opportunity for other people that love you to be like, I'm really happy you're alive. And from the ages of 7 to 14, which what kid doesn't want to have a freaking birthday when you're that young? Have a party, have cake, balloons, a card, something, or nothing. Nothing. It's, I had nothing. I had no Christmas from the time I was like 7 until 14. I had no Christmas presents. Like I said, no birthday presents. And here's the thing that you have to understand, like when it comes to like holidays and celebrating, it trickles all the way down into school, right? So when I went to school, I wasn't allowed to participate in any activities or arts and craft like projects that involve the holidays. So of course, when you're like third, fourth, fifth grade, elementary school, even into sixth and seventh grade, you make stuff, you make projects and little knickknacks, gifts for your mom for Mother's Day. On Valentine's Day, there's of course Valentine's Day card exchanges with all your classmates. And especially when you're in elementary school, you always make some kind of little like goodie bag to put your cards in. There's an exchange of candy, or teacher appreciation day, you bring your teacher a freaking apple or a card or whatever. Christmas time, everyone's saying Merry Christmas and they got their sweaters on with the freaking Christmas trees and everything. Easter, making Easter and Easter egg arts and craft projects. No, every single teacher that I had growing up, they were given instruction to send me and my brother to like the library or the office when it was time to do a holiday activity so that I wouldn't have to do it. That's how I grew up. This religion went so far as to say you're not allowed to say the American, because I'm in America, the American Pledge of Allegiance. Now, if you're American, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single morning at school, like the first thing you do when you get to class after the bell rings, someone gets on the intercom and says, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And whether it's the principal or like a student volunteer, somebody says a Pledge of Allegiance, like over the intercom for the whole school, and you stand up and you put your right hand over your heart, find the flag in the classroom, and you say the Pledge of Allegiance. I was supposed to sit there. What I was really supposed to do was sit there when everyone else stands up and puts their right hand to their heart. According to this religion, what I was really supposed to do is sit there and do nothing and watch everyone around me stand for the Pledge of Allegiance while I sat in my chair and stayed there. That's what this religion says to do. And I can remember saying, like, Mom, that's so embarrassing. Like, that's so embarrassing. So she was like, okay, stand up if you're embarrassed, but don't do anything. Like, don't put your right hand over your heart. Don't like look at the flag and don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know if it's because the Pledge of Allegiance literally says like one nation under God and maybe they don't like that part. Like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard. None of my friends were allowed to bring me a balloon for my birthday or a card or take me out for lunch. I had no birthday party when I turned 8. I had no birthday party when I turned 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 or 14. No birthday party, no cake, no presents, no balloons, no card. My mom and my brothers weren't even allowed to say happy birthday. No acknowledgement that I've existed for another year, that I've taken another like trip around the sun. None. None. Watching all of my neighbors and all of my friends on Christmas morning go outside and play with their new toys, or I'd have neighbors come knock on my door to wanting me to come out and play, and my mom would let me go out and play with them. But all of these kids, what they were actually doing, I can cry about it from memories, like childhood memories of feeling so left out. But these kids, whether they were well-meaning or not, these kids that I grew up with that knew that I was this religion, they knew. They would come knock on our door on Christmas morning anyways with like their new rollerblades in their hand or their new laptop in their hand or, their new remote control car in their hand, wanting us to come outside and play so they can show off their new toys. My neighbor with a stack of 5 new Barbies when I had the same old hand me down, like yard sale, secondhand Barbies, because I wasn't allowed to get anything new. My husband actually said something that was a real aha moment for me that I never ever thought about when it comes to my religious background. He said, and I can't believe I never thought about this, but it's so possibly true. My husband said, did you ever think that your mom grabbed on to this particular religion and held on to it so tightly because of the no celebrating the holidays and us not having money? Because if you believe this religion and you don't celebrate birthdays and Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, like if you don't celebrate any of these holidays, then you don't need money to make these holidays happen for your children. And we didn't have money. We were pretty poor. We were like very low income. My mom was doing 3 kids all by herself. So 3 kids, that's 3 birthdays every year. That's 3 groups of Christmas presents. That's 3 kids that need Valentine's Day cards for their classes. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So my husband was like, did you ever think that your mom followed this religion, maybe not just because she believed in it, because I can't say I don't have a relationship with my mom now, so I can't like ask her if she really believed it or didn't believe it. But I never thought about it. Like, was she just doing it for the money? As bad as it sounds, was she following this crazy cult-like religion just for the money saving aspect? And I hope that's actually not true. because that's like sadder. That makes like that chunk of my childhood, which was most of my childhood, um, that much more like super depressing. So eventually, I don't really know what it was that made my mom stop. I never really asked her, honestly. She always said that she didn't like the petty BS that went on behind the scenes of the religion, and that no one actually seemed like God fearing people. They just all seemed like a bunch of backstabbers and gossips. And she got sick of it, and that's what she said. At least as like one of the reasons why she stopped believing it. But yeah, I remember I got a birthday party for my 15th birthday. And my mom made me a cake, and I got to have friends over, and there was streamers and there was balloons, and that's my first. That's this is sad too. I've never thought about this, you guys. This is for real therapy Thursday. My 15th birthday is the first birthday I can remember. It's the only I can't I don't really have any memories of like before this religion and before we became part of this religion. I don't have any like really young childhood memories of like doing something for my birthday or going somewhere for my birthday when I was like, first grade or like kindergarten. I don't remember anything. I don't remember doing anything for like turning 6 and turning 7 before this religion. So my birthday turning when I turned 15, my birthday party, I can remember it like it was yesterday, and I'm almost 39. But I can remember my 15th birthday like it was yesterday cuz it's the first birthday I remember doing anything for my birthday. So that's turning 15 was the first time I can remember getting a cake, being having balloons, having friends over, having streamers hanging from the ceiling of my mom's apartment, getting presents. Yeah, when I turned 15, that's the first time I remember. That's crazy, right? So it all comes down to this story for why holidays are such a big deal to me. I always do a little bit too much. I always go a little too far overboard. I always I I celebrate I'm going to cry. I celebrate the holidays like I'm a kid. Yeah. I celebrate the holidays and get excited about seeing holiday stuff in the store, whether it's like the grocery store or Target or even like our 99-cent store down the street. Like, I get excited about any holiday thing, because it's like I have so many years to make up for still, and money to be able to do it now, to enjoy, truly enjoy the holidays. And I just want so badly to give my kids memories, because what this religion did and what my mom did by following this religion is it created a humongous blank slate in my childhood memories where there's like nothing. Because for me, what holidays do is they create anchor memories. Like, you remember that one time, that one 4th of July when we had that barbecue and blah 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 blah. Oh my gosh, the fireworks were so good. Or, oh my gosh, do you remember that one time on Christmas Eve when you fell and da da da? Like, there's always like holidays create anchor memories in your brain, especially when you're a kid, because holidays are such a big deal when you're a kid and it's so exciting. Your birthday, Christmas, exchanging Valentine's Day cards at school. Like, these are like anchor moments in your life that I was robbed of. So I feel like there's big chunks of my childhood memory that are just like blank slates because like nothing, like nothing memorable occurred. Like, there's no big moment like, oh my gosh, I remember when I turned 10, we went such and such a place. That was my favorite freaking birthday when I was a kid. Like, I don't have, there's no stories to tell. Like, my husband has stories to tell our kids. I have no stories to tell. So when I think about the holidays, I don't think of like, I'm not trying to offend any religious people, but when I think about like Christmas, for example, I don't think about Jesus's birthday. I think about, I want to give my kids some concrete, long lasting, beautiful memories. And most importantly, traditions. Like the Friday after Thanksgiving, we put up the tree always. And I want my kids to know that the Friday after Thanksgiving, they can come knock on their mom's door and bring my grandkids over to see me because grandma's going to be putting up the tree because it's tradition and I'm still going to do it. So that's stuff that like my mom took the opportunity from us as kids to create those memories, and I make such a big deal about holiday crap and birthday crap and all the stuff because I'm making up for lost time, and I also so desperately want to give my kids what I didn't have. So with that being said, I think I'm going to stop. Um, but yeah, that's my Therapy Thursday video for you guys, and a big story about who I am. I grew up as a kid in a religion that people have referred to as bizarre, weird, annoying, cult like, but it was a big part of who I was as a kid. And in my next video, it's probably gonna be a show and tell where I show you guys everything I bought for my son's birthday for his goodie bags that he's gonna take to school, as well as everything I bought for my kids for Valentine's Day for their little goodie bags to give to their classmates. Because I just explained to you why I do too much, why I am the way I am about holidays and decorating and everything. So please excuse the mess that I just now realized is behind me. My son did not clean up before going to school this morning. Anyways, you guys, I'm sorry I had to pause and stop and cough and my husband calling, but I hope you enjoyed the story time. Thank you for taking the time to watch it if you did watch it all. And I'm just going to kind of leave this video rough and relatively unedited because it's my truth. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.